Happy Wednesday, everyone. Emily's back. Yeah. We got Rick Harrison from Pawn Stars. Palm Stars is something more perverted. And of course, Kat and Tyrus are here as well. But also joining us tonight, the 45th President, Donald J. Trump. Roll it, Sven.
Gutfeld Industries, in conjunction with regular bed rest and plenty of fresh vegetables, presents The Meeting of the Minds, Part 1, Trump versus Gutfeld.
That's right, our first ever one-on-one sit-down with the man himself. Okay, he sat and I stood, but you can hardly tell the difference. It's true, I headed down to Bedminster, New Jersey to interview the former president, and our conversations covered many topics, from Afghanistan to the economy, but mostly we focused on me and how I'm making late-night TV great again. Yes! But the interview spanned far and wide, and much like Kat applying her hair extensions, I want to use every single piece of it. But first...
Greg's 7 jokes.
Seven jokes. According to new research, cannabis use has doubled the risk of heart attacks in young people. When Willie Nelson was told this, he said, "I'll be 89 next April, jackass." American Crime Story, produced by Monica Lewinsky, airs on FX this week, which I guess answers the age-old question, who do I have to sleep with to get my project on TV? Yes. 23 years after their affair, Lewinsky says she's still waiting for an apology from Bill Clinton. The difference is Bill Clinton is 75 now, and these days he honestly can't remember if he had sex with that woman or not. So 9/11 mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed has been behind bars at Guantanamo for over 20 years and still doesn't have a trial date. The good news is prison officials have finally approved his request for a sex change. That would happen. On a similar note, some of the Afghan women considered attacking their new Taliban government with car bombs, but then they remembered that none of them are allowed to drive. Somber, truthful. Late night host Jimmy Kimmel is back on the air after taking the summer off. He's missed a lot. Kimmel says if you're not vaccinated, you shouldn't get a hospital ICU bed. But I'm not sure if Jimmy was being sincere because he wasn't crying. Anyway, it's just funny hearing someone say, "I see you," who nobody actually sees. Oh. Look, I don't want to suggest that Kimmel's show has become boring and predictable, but last night during the taping, people in the studio audience were changing the channel. And that's your 7 jokes. All right. And now, part 1 with Donald Trump. Great to see you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Greg.
Thank you for having me. The most important question I have to ask you is, how about my ratings?
Your ratings are fabulous. I just saw you're now the king of late night.
Yes.
I mean, you're beating some very untalented people, to be honest with you, so I'm not so sure how great that is, but they are so bad, and it's about time somebody came in and you're really beating them badly. Great.
I feel kind of guilty about it because I feel like I'm beating up unarmed people.
Well, they're not very talented. You are, so congratulations.
I'm mildly talented. They're just untalented.
Well, and you're very different.
Yes, I am very different. Speaking of, do you remember how much I hated you for that brief period of time?
There was a period of time when you weren't a fan, and then you started noticing that things were getting done.
Yes.
And you said, you know, I may not like them, but look, we have a good economy, we have good military, we have good everything.
Right.
And then you started, and now I think, I don't know if it's love, but it's getting close, and we like it.
It's not, I wouldn't say it's love, but I would say it's admiration.
Well, thank you.
And also admitting that I was wrong because I was focusing on words and not deeds. And now we're at a time where, okay, there are no more mean tweets, and we have a really nice president, and the country is in the crapper. So who would you rather have?
Well, I don't know that he's a nice president. I'm not sure about that. But I can tell you the country has never been more unsafe. We have people pouring in through our southern border, which everyone's forgetting about right now
Right.
because of the travesty of Afghanistan. And if you look at the people coming in by the hundreds, by the thousands, and these are not the people necessarily that wanted the protection.
Right.
These are people. So are they terrorists? How
Yes.
many terrorists are coming in? And they were aggressive, very aggressive at the plane, and they pushed their ways, their way onto the plane.
Why do you think that Democrats have such a problem with like incentivization? Like if you introduce friction on the border, you reduce immigration.
Yeah.
They don't understand that. What is the problem with that? How can they cannot see that?
I really believe it's gross incompetence. And the only thing good for them about Afghanistan is it makes what they're doing on the border look good, because that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
We don't want a wall. We don't want this. We'll just let people come through. It's a disaster. The borders it was the safest border we've ever had, and now it's the worst.
What unites all of them is a lack of process. They do not understand process. We just want order. I want people to come into our country, but I want a line and a gate, people that can walk through.
Yeah, and legally. Legally vetted, strongly vetted.
Yeah.
But when you think that they moved the military out first, think of this, because we had a great plan.
Backwards.
Even Biden, I think he made a mistake when they did it. They were all screaming at him. But when he said that since President Trump, or he calls it the past administration, signed the deal, not one soldier was shot at or killed.
Yeah.
Think of that. You know why? Because they knew the consequences.
Yeah.
And our conditions were tough. And then they came in and they just moved out. Who would move out the military first? The military goes last and safely. And sadly, those 13 great soldiers and 200 people, 200 people, more than 200 people were killed, and a lot of people are badly injured, really badly injured. It wouldn't have happened.
Do you think it is better to be feared, right? And that's the difference. They don't fear our president.
Well, I don't know if he just doesn't seem like they know what they're doing.
Right. Yeah.
It's not a question. I don't even think it's a question of fear. It's a question of respect, and it's a question of being smart. When you hear, I could just see, because I dealt with Abdul.
Right.
Let's call him Abdul, but that's the man.
Yes.
And he's now the head of the Taliban, and he
Right.
was the head of the Taliban when I dealt with him. And I started it off very tough because, you're going to pay tremendous consequences. I don't have to go the level of toughness, but it was bad. And they understood what I said. And there was no way they were going to do anything to us. We could have taken our time. We could have taken a year, 2 years. But to leave $85 billion worth of equipment, for them to fly around Apache helicopters. So this is the greatest war machine outside of the submarine. This is the greatest war machine there is, the Apache.
Right.
They're very, very, tens of millions of dollars. They have 28 of them.
Yes.
That's more than any other country in the world has, except for us.
I can't even get a gun in New York.
Yeah.
If I joined the Taliban, I could have gotten a helicopter.
No problem.
Yes.
In fact, I saw that the other day. We can't have guns, but the Taliban, they can have 27 each.
I could have a helicopter that would get me to the Hamptons and back.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. I thought that's only part one. That's only part one. But for more, let's get immediate feedback from the media on that amazing part one interview.
Gene Nelson reports with Gene Nelson.
Mr. Gutfeld, first off, I just have to say, that was probably the hardest hitting interview of a president I have ever seen.
Thanks for that. What's your name?
Gene.
Well, Jim, it was really a lot of fun. I learned a lot, but it's only part one. I have 4 more parts of that interview to go.
Hard to believe it gets any better, because what I saw took no prisoner.
Yes, it did take no prisoners. And it also looks like it might have captured your heart.
It did. I live right around the corner if you want to get out of here.
Why did you say so in the first place? I'll drink of water. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He just offered Tyrus $5 for the wrestling belt backstage. Host of Pawn Stars, Rick Harrison. Her mouth can run faster than the criminals she used to defend in court. Host of Outnumbered, Emily Campagno. She thought AA was BYOB. Fox News contributor, Kat Tim. And He has his own parking space at the Big and Tall Men's Shop. My massive sidekick and the NWA's World Television Champion, Tyrus. So, Rick, welcome to the show.
I mean, how do I follow up that interview?
Which one?
Probably the second one. Yeah.
I can tell. The look on your face was you were very disturbed and full of regret.
And I had a tear in my eye. I mean, it's all at the same time, yeah.
Yes. One of the things you notice, though, Trump is always entertaining, no matter what. Is that...
It was fun when he was president. It really was. I mean, with Biden, you just know for a fact that he's going to say something really weird at a press conference, and everyone's going to talk about it for It's the same thing, everything. Trump, he talks about every Taliban gets 27 guns.
Yes. And you know what? That's directionally true. It probably does come out to about 27 guns. You know. Yeah. I bet that, God, you should go there. Pawn Star should go there.
I'm cool.
Think of I'll give you, because they'll all be in lines with the same guns, and none of the guns work. All the Taliban will be trying to give you guns so they could buy opium.
Oh, no. The whole market's flooded with these things,
All right, Tyrus, I know you had some thoughts about the interview. Have your thoughts changed?
Yeah, you know what, man? I'm normally would never do this, man, but wow, man, that was a real no, but it was a conversation, and you didn't change. No, people when they interview presidents change. You didn't kiss his ass.
No.
And I applaud you. And you had a conversation. You even told him I didn't like, because I used to hear him going, this guy, are you kidding? And that was a great conversation. The residual effect, and I'm not talking about that second thing. I don't even know what that was. But I'm proud of you both coming out tonight. Nice job.
Support you.
But all around the world right now, you are hearing Jim Acosta and Brian Stelter dancing in the streets. We're back. We have something to talk about for the next 6 months. We got a new book deal. You have brought him back in a way that CNN's excited. You did a great job, and now they're going to roast you for it and go after you forever. And I say, bring it on.
I want to be roasted.
And there you go. Bring it on.
Emily, good to see got your real estate license.
My theme was presidential, obviously.
You're like a hot topic real estate agent. Anyway,
I'll take it. Actually.
You're a goth.
Awesome.
You sell gothic houses. Anyway, thoughts, cares.
I just kept thinking, I miss that guy. Like, 2 minutes of the two of you and the banter and getting to the heart of the issue as well. Like, yeah, you know what? The president we have in the White House right now, he's doing a horrible job. And he's not nice. Everything that we've been told is actually a lie.
Right.
And because of it, 13 service members are died. Americans are stranded. We've surrendered after a 20-year war. We've lost $83 billion worth of equipment. And the future is probably more bleak than it's ever been for those who remain there, including our allies. Mm-hmm. He cuts to the heart of the issue. And Abdul, now in power, I love that he always leaves us with these concise points and stuff to talk about for a long time.
Yeah, it's weird, Kat, because some of the stuff, when you read it, it doesn't sound funny until it comes out of his mouth.
Yeah. I mean, I was reading it and I thought it sounded funny because I could imagine it coming out of his mouth. And I agree with what Tyra said. You were very yourself, like the first thing you brought up was, tell me how great I am,
Yes.
which is exactly what it's like to be around you all the time. But yeah, it's true.
Is that really true?
Congratulations on your ratings.
Yeah, Greg, you did it.
Your rating.
You did it, Greg.
You
all yourself. You stood alone. You threw the show on your back, and you by yourself with no help from anyone. And the fact that interview was in New Jersey, that's what, a 15-minute ride for us? I had some questions.
You know what? I feel like Peter Brady being ganged up on by Greg and Marcia because I lied about something.
No, I thought that it was great. It was kind of fun, even when you were talking about certainly some serious things. It was still fun.
Yeah.
So good for you.
Thanks.
Great
Good for all of us.
Yes.
Good for all of us.
No. It's all you.
I'm like,
all you.
that would have been the first time you ever said that.
Yeah, you're not wasting that tonight. No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit.
Yeah, you're
my
gonna
water
waste
and
that till you really
move
need
on.
something.
I prefer it when you guys talk behind my back, not in my face.
When have I ever done that?
We talk about them on the podcast. We never listen. That doesn't count.
All right, we got to move on. Part 2 of our interview later in the show. It gets even better.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.